Hello, welcome to my video for the Honda ST1100 red wire bypass. And here are the things that you will need to help you complete the red wire bypass, along with a couple of extra bits and pieces that aren't on display tool wise, like snips, etc. And something to shrink wrap the shrink tube in. But we have a new starter relay. You may not need one of these for doing the red wire bypass. Your one might be okay, but if yours has failed, this is why you're now doing it. These can be found off of eBay quite cheaply, or off some of the forum members. They sometimes have them for sale in the kit form or just on its own. The plug and the wiring. This is the culprit of the issue. Basically, this wire here, the red one at the front there, on the right hand side, gets very hot and it melts the plastic, which causes it to basically short out and stop your bike dead, which is really useful if you're in the middle of nowhere. We have some shrink tubing to go over the connections after we've soldered them. Obviously a solder jig, helping hand, soldering iron, solder, and a 30 amp fuse holder to go to the battery, so we don't actually blow things up. We have a fuse there, and some basic various connectors. We're going to be using these ones here to connect it to the battery. So that's pretty much everything that you're going to need to do the red wire bypass, and now we should show you basically how to do it. Right, as you can see, we've got the side of the bike off. Battery, good old motor bat. So you've got a few accessory wires here for various bits and pieces. But this beast here is your problem. So we take this off. Mine's been working okay. However, if you take it off, just zoom in there. And you can see in there it's melted, and there it's melted, and overall it's not in very good condition. So we're going to replace this, and this as well, which is the starter solenoid, just here. So first things first, we're going to disconnect the battery, and also we're going to tidy up all of this as well afterwards. So I'll be right back once the battery's disconnected. You can see I've got rid of the wires, disconnected the battery, got rid of the starter solenoid there, so we've got a bit more space to work with. Now, you notice on here that the wires are different colours to what are on here. Don't need to worry about the colours of the wiring, just need to worry about the position of them in the actual connector itself. And to save any confusion, what we're going to do is cut them one by one. Actually, so we can cut them all about halfway, and then match them up to the new ones. And obviously leave this one unplugged. But it's this wire here that we need to connect straight to the battery, or to this bit here. Some later bicycles are 90 original pan have like a little block area here where you can mount accessories to and extra wires to. I haven't got that, so I'm going to have to connect directly to the positive of the battery. So, find my snips. There they are. Snips. What I'm going to do is leave a bit on the plugs so that obviously we can match it back up. So we can match that back up to the new one in the area. I'm not going to cut this wire down, not yet anyway, because I may use it to basically run maybe my heated grips or my accessory in. I'm going to check once it's all wired in if this gives out voltage and if it's ignition voltage, or if it's ignition voltage, then that's great. Might be able to get rid of the relay, not rid of the relay, but change the feed I've got for my accessories at the front, which is running off the lights at the moment, so it only works when the lights are on. This is where we go. Okay, so I'll stick the new one in there, like that. So we're not going to need anywhere near that amount of wire. Let's refocus it. Anywhere near that amount of wire. So the length of it now. So I'm going to cut it. I'll cut it on the long side. And cut this one down a bit. There we go. And we just get our trimmers. There we go. See there, leave and say that one there because that's not going to be used. I'm going to do the same to this now. I'll take that off for the time being. Fair, I don't even know if it's going to fit over the new one. Let's have a look. It does. We'll worry about that in a bit though. So we've got that. Soldering iron. Tin soldering iron. And the wires. Okay, so they've been tinned. Okay, got the plug, and got wire there, and the fuse holder. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with doing the red wire bypass wire. So let's get that into position. Bit of shrink wrap sliding on. Then warm it up. Tin the soldering iron a bit more. It would probably be easy if you have a slightly more powerful soldering iron, to be fair. Excuse my soldering technique, doing this upside down. Okay, let's just check that joint. A good tug, that's nice and solid. And put shrink wrap over it and shrink it down. Also, if you have a heat gun or a lighter, you can use that. Less chance of melting the solder then. But there you go. That's that done. And then you can tap that down there. Along there. And then attach it to there. To do that, get one of these, make sure that it fits. Yep. My accessories I've got, I might need to get a longer one of these. Slide that into there. And crimp it down. What I also like to do is just get a bit of solder in there. There we go. That's ready to go across. Once it's cooled down and you don't burn yourself. So now we've got the remaining wires we can stick on here. Get the yellow wire out. Okay, so the black wire on the new plug is the back right wire. So the back right wire, back in that one, it's a yellow and red on my one. So skinny yellow and red, there we go. Need a bit longer than that. Skinny yellow and red. Okay. Skinny yellow and red to black. Just double check. Skinny yellow and red to black. Slide down the heat shrink. Also, where these wires are quite skinny, I'm not sure how much that's gonna shrink down, so we might need, well, we'll do. Anyways, Matt, of course, stick some insulating tape back around the wires. Okay, so green, in this case here, green and red. Green and red is back left. Back left on my one is the yellow. Okay, you can see it's all back in. Taped up. Fuse wire there. I'm not connected up to the battery yet because I've got a couple of bits and pieces, but that is basically the red wire bypass. And I'll be back shortly once it's all wired back up correctly. You can see the final result. Okay, so here it is. Got the cable ties tied neatly. New bit there, all onto there. I've put dielectric grease on the battery contacts and on the starter relay contacts as well. You've got your fuses in here. Cables are tied away. Got my heated grips, my accessory wire. I've taken off the Optimate charger wire phone because the wire's broke anyway, and yeah, shouldn't need that on there for a little while. So yeah, now see if it starts. Keys in. We have light. We have working battery voltage gauge. Here we go. Red wire bypass.